Welcome back, episode 123 of the Purple Rain podcast. A lovely day, an amazing day, personally for me. But we are back. We are better than ever, and boy, oh boy, do we have just drama, Purple Rain drama. I'll call it what it is, drama. To talk about. And this is gonna be fun to talk about. Gonna be kind of like Monday. I'm expecting us to get a little passionate, which I know I'm going to, but we are back, and as it being the 23rd episode, you know what we got to do. All right, throw in some number 23s in the Ravens history, and I see K Dog started us off, and it's Lisa Frankel, the Willis McGahee edition. All right, Chalky Brown, God,
Yeah.
he was pretty bad. The Mel Williams, the Kendrick Lewis, the Jermaine Wilborn edition, and most recently the Anthony Avery edition of the Purple Rain podcast. How are you doing on this lovely Thursday, Sutton?
I'm doing amazing. Today I was actually free. I was off work all day. I actually went out hiking. I went hiking.
Ah,
For those of you guys who live in the Maryland area, actually check out Great Falls. Check out Great Falls.
okay.
I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's actually really nice. Like kind of like mountain type, mountainscape, sort of view scenery. You can go hiking, things like that. So it was really fun. I've actually been having a pretty good day. But the news that we received about, former Raven going smack right at a current Raven, it just kind of hurt my heart. It kind of hurt my heart because you shouldn't be going at like guys who are coming up through the same fold as you did. Yeah, it hurts my heart. So I'm having a good day, but that did kind of throw me off, and I'm ready to get all into it. But before we get into any of that, we do have to cover a couple housekeeping things.
Indeed.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, just like you see down below there. You can follow my guy SimplyAS10 on Twitter at SimplyAS10 or on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see down below as well. Let's go ahead and pull up everybody who's in the live chat. You guys know how we do here. Y'all know how we do. Black Daniels is in the house. Says, "Oh, we in here early. Rain gang, what's going on?"
Indeed.
Black Daniels, appreciate you for pulling up. Lisa says it's 4 days till her birthday.
We know.
Count down the days.
We know.
Yeah,
We
count
know.
down the days, Lisa. Don't think we forgot. Let's see. K Dog, Mod K Dog, Purple Rain Pioneer K Dog says, "Yo, what's good, Rain Gang family? How's everyone doing on this Friday Eve?"
Lovely.
Lovely.
I'm having a great day. You can't bring me down today. I'm just gonna be honest. So
Yeah. We got Yolanda in the house. Says, "Good evening, Rain Gang." What's going on, Yolanda?
on.
Appreciate you for pulling up. See Stackhouse is in the building. Says, "Anybody do a welfare check on Bernard Pollard this morning?" One Session 27 is in the house. Says that Bernard Pollard pack is still hitting. Okay, y'all already talk about it. Getting
love
fired
it.
up. I love it. Yeah.
I love it.
J Prime 235 says, "Hello. What's going on, J Prime?
going on?
Appreciate you for pulling up." My guy Dylan Paul is in the house. Says, "What's up, Rain Gang? Got my passes for the open practice. Hope to see everyone there."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you get the pass for the stadium practice, or did you get the one for?
I got stadium and for August 15th. I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I was like, why not? I just saw it. I'm like, let me just get one of them. If I can't use it, I'll definitely give it away. But
I got the stadium one, but the open practice one, I'm actually like on the waiting list or whatever. I think.
that's stupid.
Yeah. So
That's like false
still
hope.
trying to. I know,
Like-
I know, like, cause who's not gonna go to that? But I'll keep you guys posted for sure. I think I like ended up taking a freaking nap on the day that they dropped it, and I woke up like 30 minutes late, and they're like, "Oh, yep, they're all gone," and I was like, "Okay, all right."
I know
So,
the stadium
yeah.
practice is gonna be fun. I know. Actually, funny thing, I saw our guy Rush today. I
Oh,
saw him
really?
there. Yeah, I know he's
How's
gonna
Rush
be there.
doing?
Lovely. We
It's
actually.
good. It's good.
Well, that's kind of why. I actually met a couple of Arsenal players today, so saw he was there.
Yeah, I saw your story. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Woo! Y'all
Sign.
see it?
Sign.
Y'all see it?
It's the 23rd episode, so shout out to my guy
Mm.
Sambi Lokonga.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was a nice meet and greet
I know
with
that pronunciation
goalkeeper
is right too.
Aaron Ramsdale, center back Benjamin White, and midfielders Albert Sambi Lokonga.
Ooh.
Great, nice play. The game's this Saturday. I am buzzing for the game. I'm gonna go crazy. I might not be here on Monday. I'll be honest with you, but
Bro, shout out to Simply AS10 for the pronunciations of those names, bro. Like just like first and foremost, like he just
That's some Belgian coming out right there.
hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. It's definitely coming out. Let's see. Jabari Cruz Ellis is in the building. Says, "What's up, Purple Rain gang?" My guy
What's going
Dre's in the
on?
building as well. King95 in the house. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you for pulling up, coming through. Jay is in the house. Has never clicked so fast in my life.
Yes.
What's going
Yes.
on, bro? Appreciate you for coming through. We're about to get into some
It's
heated
gonna be
talk
fun.
here soon. It's gonna be fun. And just a disclaimer, before we get into our first super chat donation of the night, if you are in here and you have any opposing opinions to, the Ravens flock, what most of us probably would say, feel free to put them down in the chat room. Just, of course, stay respectful at all times. We want to bring you guys up. We want to get, the devil's advocate opinions. We want to
Yeah,
kind of
that's
like go
fun.
back and forth. It's fun, It's off season, right? It's July.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, we gotta talk about something. We gotta talk about something. But we do have our first super chat donation. This one coming from our guy Spencer,
Answer.
kicking
Thank
us
you.
off, man. He said he's going a little bit off the rails here. Says Bernard is a B, and you can make up the rest of that.
Yeah.
Made tired of his crap. He's always been bitter since he was not re-signed. Like you said, you told me he doesn't like Harbaugh.
No, not at all. Not at all. You can definitely see he doesn't think he's a good coach. Definitely has his criticisms of him, which is weird because when I was rewatching a couple of the games, like Harbaugh had his back,
Yeah.
hugging him after the AFC Championship game. Something had to go on behind the scenes that we don't know, but yeah, I guess we'll get right into it then.
Yeah.
Bernard hasn't been too fond of the Ravens ever since his departure, like
No,
at all. And
definitely
I
not.
know you've seen it, I've seen it, and this has been going on for years. Even before Lamar was a Raven, he definitely was very critical of the team.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like I said, it's sad that you have a former Raven going at a current Raven like this, especially knowing all the things that Lamar Jackson is currently up against, in terms of like narrative and things like that, and he's literally just feeding into this narrative like it's no tomorrow,
Yeah.
And I mean, like you told me before we went live here, I mean he does make some valid points, right? He's
Yes.
not all 100% totally in the wrong, he is speaking some truth. But there's a lot more BS than there is truth,
Yeah.
to tell you the
Yeah.
truth, honestly. And we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that here soon. Let's see. Black Daniel says, "Get them likes up." Yeah, guys,
Talk
come
to
on,
him. Talk to him.
talk to him, Black Daniels. You already know what it is. You already know. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. We got our guy Sports Gaming YouTube in the building. Says we don't claim Bernard.
I don't think
Oh
we
man.
do. I think
I
we
mean,
do.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I liked Bernard Pollard back when he was
Mm-hmm.
playing with us. I did. I liked the intensity that he brought to the game. I liked
Mm-hmm.
the hard hits. I liked how,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought he was right in saying that like he made players fear him, because I thought that was true. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
he was a classic safety. You know what I mean? Like hard hitting. You're gonna come over the middle. You're gonna feel it. You're
Yep.
gonna know that I'm there. He was
Yep.
that type of player, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
now of course he wasn't always on the money 100%. Like he wasn't like of course he's not a Hall of Famer or anything like that. I wouldn't say that, no. But he did what he needed to do with us, which is why I do respect Bernard Pollard. I know a lot of people don't, but I do respect what he did for the Ravens. So
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, he was known as a Patriot killer for multiple. I mean, he hurt so many of them, and one of my favorite plays in Ravens history was that hit on Stephen Ridley, which honestly turned the game around, which I kind of felt the Ravens were going to win the AFC that year. He knocked them out like that, just kind of took the life out of them, kind of like when the Steelers knocked out Willis McGahee. You kind of knew it was hard to come back from that.
yeah,
Patriots couldn't come back from that. And I even put a tweet out, like I did like him a lot, playing a hell of a player. But since then, it's kind of hard to tarnish your legacy with a team, but he's doing a great job at it. I mean,
yeah,
a great
yeah,
job.
he
Because
is.
I felt, I mean, fans kind of showed him love before he was talking trash about it. This is before we got Lamar. I mean, I had no problem with the way he was critical of Harbaugh, because hell yeah, like Harbaugh does deserve his criticism, and so does Lamar. But going nonstop. I mean, the night he was drafted, he called Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson the biggest bust of that draft.
Wow.
How were you so wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, both of them are ballers.
Yeah, and you know what, Alex, I'm tired of this. We're gonna have to go ahead and get into it because it's just the excitement is just boiling up and boiling over at this point. So I know we all want to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Before we can, we got to go ahead, pay us some bills here. The Purple Rain Report is brought to you by Manscaped, manscaped.com, that is. You can go on manscaped.com right here, right now.
Yeah.
And you can actually get 20% off of your Manscaped order for anything that you want on the website, including one of my personal favorites, which is the Weed Whacker. The Weed Whacker, if you can see it right there. That is a certified nose hair trimmer. So like I said, always, Alex, listen, you go to your barber, they're not always going to get your nose hair. Not every guy is going to be comfortable with going in another grown man's nose and clipping his hair, right?
No.
It's just as simple as that.
And it's going to be awkward to get it too. Awkward position. It's going to
be awkward for you and him, right? Yeah. Or if you have a lady barber, her, right? Yeah. But that's why you go on manscaped.com and you get the Weed Whacker, right? The electric nose and ear hair trimmer as well. It's waterproof and it has skin safe technology as well. So, hey, listen, you can get up in there, right? And it won't nick you. It won't nick you. That's the best part.
Nothing better than the skin. Gotta protect that skin.
Exactly. Gotta protect that. And like I said, again, you can go on manscaped.com and use the code PRP to save 20% off of your Manscaped order. That's 20% off your Manscaped order. You also get free shipping as well.
An absolute peach, if I were to say. I mean, come on now.
Honestly.
Love that.
Honestly. Why not? Do it. Right? Do it.
Get it.
Anyway. All right. Let's see. Tanja Bowman is in the house. Says, hey, Rain Gang, what a night. What's going on, Tanja? Appreciate you for pulling up, coming through. All right. You guys know what we got to get into tonight. Y'all know what it is. We've already started talking about it. But listen. Lamar versus Bernard Pollard. They were going at it on Twitter, live and in action last night, probably around this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that, like, you got, like I said, a former Raven going at a current Raven in the way that he is here. And some people would argue that, hey, maybe he's not actually going at him. Maybe it's just like a fair criticism saying that, like, Lamar Jackson, he's not this, he's not that. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not an Aaron Rodgers when it comes to throwing the football. So why would wide receivers want to go there? That sort of thing. But before I get into my personal opinions and Alex's personal opinions on it, let me just go ahead and read off the tweets of what was actually said between the two. All right. So as you can see here in the screenshot that we have up there, if you can see it, I'll just read it off for you guys, if, you know, those of you guys who are just listening to the show as well. Bernard Pollard said, no top wide receiver will ever come there while Lamar Jackson is there. Talking about the Ravens. Plenty of wide receivers have been available to get in the offseason while Lamar Jackson has been starting, but nobody wants to go. They gave him the respect, but they don't want to play with him. Lamar Jackson is good, but he's not able to make the throws. Yeah. So that was what was said by Bernard Pollard. And kind of summing it all up at the end, I think the most powerful sentence is the last sentence. Lamar Jackson is good, but he's not able to make the throws. Now, I don't want to get into my personal opinions yet. I'm going to keep reading, right? Lamar Jackson responds to that and says, yo, you've been capping since I've been playing for the Ravens, and I never heard of you, to be honest, my boy. You got your Super Bowl because of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed that year. So that was kind of like the first,
That was the first bullet. That was the first shot. There's a lot more.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more to it as well. Bernard Pollard, he claps back and says, facts are facts. Make sure you call me a champ. Good luck getting you one. Talking about Super Bowl ring. Lamar Jackson fires back at him and says, never. Like, I'm never going to call you champ. He says, nobody speaks of you. I had to Google you, little bro. I never heard of you until I seen you keep dissing like you was a Hall of Famer. But you're far from it. Across the ocean, like overseas. He was cutting deep, striking deep.
Yeah, that hurt.
That hurt. For sure. For sure. Yeah. He also, man, he was going crazy on him. It was wild. It was wild.
Yeah.
I won't read the rest of the tweets, but that was kind of like the gist of it.
By the way, he gave his kudos to Joe Flacco. By the way, all right, I'm gonna just throw that in there too. He showed love to number 5, which I loved.
Yeah. Big shout out to you guys. We got about 76 people watching live right now. Make sure you go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, we're talking all things Lamar versus Bernard Pollard right here, right now. Is this a fair or unfair criticism on Lamar? Like I said, I want to go back to that first sentence, Alex.
Yes, let's do it.
Lamar Jackson is good, but he's not able to make the throws. What say you to that, Alex?
See, making the throws is just it's so broad. I think him saying that, you can prove him wrong, but then he's gonna show you some clips of showing why he's right. What he had to do, I mean, I think it's unfair, number one, but he just was too broad for me. What throws? There's many different types of throws. Which ones are you talking about? If it's outside the numbers, that's very easily debunked. If it's a deep ball, that's a fair criticism, I think. So which one was he talking about? But I think it was unfair just because how broad he was. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and my thing is that, like, and you bring up a good point. Like, with the deep balls, yes, you can have some questions. Lamar, he hits his fair share of those, but he also misses his fair share of deep balls as well. And we can acknowledge that as fair Ravens fans, unbiased Ravens fans. But at the same time, you have to look at a lot of these other quarterbacks as well, who you've already anointed into the top 3, top 5. You know what I mean? You've already said that, like, these guys are the best in the league right now. And they also miss throws. They also miss deep throws. I remember very vividly watching that playoff game against the Bills where, I mean, Josh Allen, whether he had a blown coverage, whether he had Stephon Diggs getting open, he was overthrowing them. He was overthrowing them. The touchdown he had to Stephon Diggs was on the 1 yard line or the 2 yard line. You know what I mean? Like, Josh Allen has these same sort of, like, I guess, flaws with him, with his game, you know. But it's funny because Josh Allen is afforded a lot more of the benefit of the doubt than Lamar Jackson is, you know, when they're a very similar style of player. And it's very interesting to me. It is, Alex. It is. Yeah. What do you think about that, though?
Well, I just wanted to pull up a couple of tweets that I have. They're on my computer, so I can't show you on my phone, but I'm going to read them off, and hey, you can look these up. This was from April 26, 2018. From Pollard saying, Allen has bust written all over him. I hope Lamar Jackson does well. I just don't see it. This was November 4th, 2018. The reason why Lamar didn't start yet, because of Joe's contract and starting Lamar is not the answer. How can you wish somebody well and then say they're not the answer when they haven't played a snap in the NFL as a quarterback? That made no sense to me. And this is from 2018. Listen, if you were giving this man any kudos, when I'm talking about like his MVP year, I found some tweets last night. I'm talking the mid of MVP year, when he was just balling that 12-game winning streak. This man did not want to give him credit, and that's where I have a problem, because how hard is it to say, you know what, I was wrong?
Right.
I don't think it's that hard to do. I know you've done it. I know I've done it. It's really not that hard. So for him just standing on this, just dying on this hill and being so stubborn, it's just not. It's not a good look. It's really not.
Yeah, I mean, and you bring up a fabulous point there, and that's exactly where I was getting ready to go next. I actually saw him because he spoke on a Colin Cowherd show today. He called in, and he was kind of saying that, like, I remember just one thing that he said stood out to me. He said, a couple years ago, I said this, and I'm gonna stand on it. You know, I stand on this. You know, and people who say things like that, like, I'm going to stand on this, like, I'm not going to move off of this point, even if I'm proven wrong this way or the other, you know, that's what I have an issue with. And that's what, like, what your point is perfectly right for. I mean, he's dying on that hill because he doesn't want to be wrong. He doesn't want to admit that he was wrong.
Yep.
Same thing with guys like Bill Polian. I brought him up on the last episode. I'm not sure what his current, criticisms on Lamar Jackson are. But I haven't heard anything about him.
For a team right now?
You know? Exactly. You know, and Bernard Pollard, for him to say these sort of things, it's just, it kind of comes off as just disingenuous, you know? Like, you're just kind of purposely missing the point here. You're purposely missing the point. But hey, I appreciate it, man.
I think just not even looking at I think just showing a blind eye to where the improvements have been. If you're going to sit here and act like he didn't improve as a passer since his rookie year, come on now. Like, it's night and day how much better he is. And if you can't just admit that, I don't know what else to tell you. You're just stubborn. It's simple as that.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a certain stubbornness that you just can't, like, I don't know about it, man. Bernard Pollard, you just gotta open your eyes, open
Yeah.
your eyes. And another thing too, for me, before I get to some of the Rain Gang's comments, make sure you leave
Yeah.
your comments, questions down below, because we will be bringing those up in just a minute here on all you guys' thoughts on this situation as well. And oh yeah, before I get to my point, if you're not watching live and you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang, thank you guys so much for joining this episode 123. 123. Episode 123 of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Make sure you like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel as well. All right. So, what I was getting ready to say was, I don't really like how the narrative that has been sticking with Lamar Jackson nowadays doesn't really have the metrics to back it up, right? The facts, the stats. It's just all like, oh, I've seen Lamar Jackson miss a throw or two. So because I know he's a mobile quarterback, and the stigma on mobile quarterbacks is that they struggle throwing the football and they're dominant running the football, I'm gonna emphasize the fact that he missed that throw. And that's gonna just increase what I've already, that thought that I already have that he can't throw. Like, does that make sense, Alex? Like,
I got you. I'm picking up what
it's
you're putting down.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it. I hope you guys are too, because it's really like you kind of got to get down to the nitty gritty of why people don't like Lamar Jackson, because it's very weird, it's very strange. He's a very awesome player. Shout out to everybody watching right now. 87 people watching live. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. But simply, what do you think about like the narratives that are put against Lamar Jackson still to this day, before we get to the Rain Gang's comments, that are put, on Lamar Jackson today? What do you think about these narratives, man?
I'll start with one of them. The fact that he was getting slack for defending himself, for being sick and tired of, I mean, I don't want to call it bullying, but just the nonstop just slander for no. You would have thought Lamar Jackson took this man's ankles, left him on the field. You just would have thought he just got embarrassed by him. From what I know, and from what you know, he's done nothing whatsoever. So I just want to know, like, there has to be an internal hatred. There's some hate in BP's heart to consistently hate on just this one player. Like, I have never seen this hatred at all. Like, I think Bernard Pollard wakes up early to have extra time to hate on Lamar Jackson. And I mean,
I wake up real early.
Yep. Just I don't understand, like, where this hate has come from.
Yeah.
Like, there are some players who have clapped back at former players, and I could get that, but I don't know where this is at. Like, where he just hate stems from.
Right. I mean, because the guy wins football games. At the end of the day, it's about winning football games. If you want to talk about,
they're saying it's Lamar's fault. They're saying that he shouldn't have reacted that way. Then what should you do? Just keep on letting it happen?
Right. People just forget that these guys are individuals, and these guys are basically, me and Alex are like mid-20s, right? Full disclosure. These guys are like our age. So, we can relate to like how they would probably feel. Like a guy your age, right, Alex? Like a guy your age. You're around the same age as Lamar Jackson. I think.
I think he's
yeah. So if somebody was criticizing you left and right, back and forth, year in and year out, just saying things and just spewing things out of their mouth, like, and you're actually proving them wrong. You're staying quiet. You're just proving them wrong. But every single, corner you turn, they're just throwing a new narrative at you, just moving the goalposts further and further. Would that not frustrate you?
It would. Yeah, it would be. It's because it's not just him. It's a lot of people. And how, it would frustrate me, because there's this Nimrod, for lack of better terms, literally just hating on me for no reason. Like I said, he gave him no reason to hate on him at all. It's not like Lamar just got drafted and said, F you, Bernard Pollard, I don't like you. Okay, then I get it. All right, I get why you are just watching with a microscope.
Right.
I would get that, but hell yeah, I'd be annoyed. I'd be pissed off too, because like, what can I do to make you happy? Because you can't please everybody, but it's like I'm proving this wrong, and you're still finding a problem with it.
Right. Exactly. Let's go ahead and get into the Rain Gang's comments in here. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Let's see. 410 Byron starting us off here says, let's talk about how he thinks Lamar Jackson is a top 10 talent, but not a top 10 quarterback, even though Lamar plays the quarterback position. That's an interesting one. Go ahead, Alex.
I think it's cute when a certain quarterback says Lamar Jackson is up next, and said quarterback has 7 rings. Said quarterback is the greatest of all time.
Been there, done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just talk about it, Byron. Talk about it. That's all I can say. Because I've seen Aaron Rodgers give him the props. Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
top 3 quarterbacks in the league. But this guy who hasn't played in how long has a problem with it.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, when you talk about top 10 quarterbacks, are you really saying top 10 arm talent? Because if you're saying
Right.
top 10 arm talent, then I can semi-understand leaving Lamar Jackson off this list. That's okay.
Then Joe Flacco's top 10. We're talking about arm talent.
Right. I mean, exactly. But
You know what I mean?
at
Like,
this, yeah, I mean, you're right. But, like, at the same time, like, if we're talking about top 10 quarterbacks, when I evaluate a quarterback, I'm thinking about all the things that he can do to help his team win, to help his offense
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You know,
Hell
there's
yeah.
a reason why Lamar Jackson won the MVP in 2019 season. And I hate to bring that back up, but it's important. It's really important because Lamar Jackson is the last player not named Aaron Rodgers to win an NFL MVP. You know, so it wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't that long ago.
That
And
makes
he
you
did
think.
that by, exactly, it makes you think. You put that in perspective. He did that by helping that offense go and actually making it click. You know, when things weren't clicking for the Ravens, when they missed the playoffs, 4 or 5 straight seasons, he came right in, turned the ship around, and it started going north
And
instead
they
of
were
south.
4-5. They were 4-5.
Exactly.
We looked hopeless that year. Defense
Right.
was amazing. Offense was shambolic. Absolutely
Exactly.
shambolic.
So Alex, when I evaluate a quarterback, I'm looking at in the evaluation, I'm looking at how are they helping the offense? You know, how are they helping his team succeed? And Lamar Jackson has done that vastly over, you know, the course of his career thus far. So I just don't see, and to answer the question that's on the screen, is this a fair or unfair criticism on Lamar? I think it's a very unfair criticism on
Yeah.
Lamar based off of what he's done already.
And I think as Ravens fans, I know we stick up for him a lot because he gets the unnecessary slander and hate. But don't believe that we sit here and think he's a perfect quarterback. I just want to get that out of
Right.
the way because
Yeah.
we both know there are every player can be better in a certain area, even the best of the best. But we're not gonna.
Yeah.
But we're sitting here and just trying to defend this guy who's getting the unnecessary slack. That's all. We're not saying he's the best ever, but come on now. Like if you can't see there's something wrong with the slander and hate he's getting, give me a break. Come on now.
Bossman Harris says here, there's no narrative. He's just not consistent throwing the football.
I mean, we can talk about this. I
Sure.
think we can talk about this. We can look at the seasons. His rookie year, I can definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
Second year, I can't. He balled out. Even in
Balled out.
2020, I think there were games where he didn't look good, but he was winning us games arm and leg.
Yeah.
Arm. I mean, there's a reason we won our last 5 games. I think in 2020. The run game, I would say yes in the playoffs against the Titans, but we were running a lot, and I don't think Lamar Jackson was calling those plays. I just don't think the guy up there calling the plays trust him, which still kind of irks me because going into year 5, still haven't opened it up. I think he's consistent, but he can be better. I'll meet you there. He can be
For
better.
sure.
He can
For
be
sure.
better.
Definitely. I think the common denominator out of all those seasons that you just talked about is that in the 2019 season, he had the best offensive line out of any of those seasons. You know,
I mean,
and he
look at
balled out
last
that
year.
season.
Can we
Yeah.
talk? Let's talk about the line from last year, dude.
Sure. Yeah.
It was piss poor.
Mm.
When did we have every single game? Like we had a different line like every game. Makari got hurt against the Bengals. We had Stanley the first game, probably on one ankle. We had Villanueva at right tackle,
Yeah.
and we had Villanueva playing left tackle. I mean, we had it was just bad. So what do? You get a center in the first round. Oh, we get a right tackle who learned from, in my opinion, the best left tackle in the league in Trent Williams. Well,
Talk
he was with
about it.
Washington. Okay, who can play right tackle because he played there in college. Oh, he can play left tackle too. Okay, so let's say Ronnie Stanley's not 100% healthy. Cool. Moses at left tackle. Oh, we re-signed Patrick McCarry, who did pretty damn good at right tackle. Throw him there. All right. Kevin Zeitler, right guard. Left guard is your only competition on the line where you have 3 guys competing for it.
Yep.
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Made the best man. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Exactly. Also, one piece that you forgot to mention also drafted Daniel Falele as well. Insurance. You know, we got a young guy. We got another young guy in there.
We were calling up guys from the practice squad last year.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, Sharp looked pretty good when he was in there. Who knows what he could be? We could have hit another undrafted offensive lineman gem. Who knows? But you're damn right. Falele is there. Who knows? He could be the next Orlando Brown. Nobody expected him to start his rookie year, but look, he did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. here says the fact is Greg Roman's offenses have finished bottom third in the league in every stop he's been at. The fact is Dez Bryant, Willie Snead, Hollywood Brown, Steve Smith, Kurt Warner, and more have all called out Greg Roman. So yeah, I mean, Jonathan Washington, he brings up a good point here. Saying that in most of the narrative talk against Lamar Jackson, people don't typically bring up the fact that Greg Roman is not really evolving that offense, But I also found it interesting because, like I said, I listened to what Bernard Pollard had to say on Colin Cowherd's show today, and he said he brought up the fact that, like, people want to say, it's G-Ro's fault, this and that, but Lamar Jackson, he's not adapting well enough to what defenses are throwing at him. Like, I guess, reading it quick enough, he brought up the instances of, getting blitzed over and over and over again, and not being able to consistently find the checkdowns, find the outlets, things like that. But, again, when you don't have good enough offensive line play and you don't have star receivers that can make you look better than you are, it's very tough to make that happen, and the criticism on Lamar is when he has to throw the football, what is he going to do? When the whole world knows he has to throw, what is he going to do?
I saw it 3 times last year and he came back in each game. But real quick, we have 109 people watching.
Woo!
Thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
And if you're new, subscribe. And if you wouldn't mind, drop a like. It helps us out a ton, more than I think you could ever know. So thank you very much, everybody watching right now. I'm going to go back to your point about the coming back. I mean, we were down, 2 possessions, I believe, to the Chiefs?
Yeah.
All right. Came back. Down, I think, 19 points in the fourth, or something, 15 points. I forget what it was in the fourth quarter to the Colts. Came back. Yeah. Hell, the Vikings came back and won it. All right.
I was there.
That narrative is dead. You're living in a pre-pandemic time frame if you think that narrative is still alive. Just going to be honest with you. But yeah. It's just another one of the narratives that's been busted by him.
Yeah. Let me see. Got my guy Isaiah Pope coming in here. What's going on, bro? Actually, one of my bros who I went hiking with today. Shout out to you, bro.
Oh.
Says it's simply a dense-brained guy who successfully baited the people for attention. Other quarterbacks can have the same problem, but they don't get the same criticism. I personally feel like it's because he's black.
And we did touch on this last episode.
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
And I think the baiting part is, I think Pollard wanted this. He wanted this. And I actually just saw Lamar actually did apologize, and he was like, God wouldn't want me to do this. And Pollard said, it's all good. It should be the other way around. You've been hating on this man for 4 years.
Right.
He should be the one apologizing. And that's going to show me that our quarterback is 24 years old and being the bigger man than Bernard Pollard, which is telling me a lot. Because I believe he didn't have to apologize, but he did.
Real quick, can we get Bernard Pollard's age? Anybody know how old Bernard Pollard is? Somebody put that in the chat. I just want to know. Yeah. We do have a super chat donation. This one from Boss Man Harris.
37.
Harris, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you for your super chat donation. Thank you for chiming in with your comment as well. We appreciate
it stemmed a healthy conversation, which I do enjoy.
It does. Absolutely. It does. But you said he's how old?
37.
Bro, you're 37, bro. I wish he was 36 so I could do the RDC World thing. Like, you're 36, but he's 37, bro. It's even worse. Yeah. It's even worse. Yeah. Come on, man. Thank you, Void. Thank you, Void, as well. But come on, bro. You're 37. You're almost 40, and you're talking trash on this guy who is 25 years old, has done nothing wrong, in the court of public opinion, has only done good things on the football field for the most part.
And
And off the football field.
He
The
just
guy's
had a
role
camp
model.
last week.
Exactly. Like,
Come on.
Come on,
man. Maybe
Right,
put him on Come On, Man.
The ESPN segment. Exactly.
Yeah, put him on there.
The Don is in the house. Let's hit that like, everyone. Appreciate you for coming through, Don.
And
make sure you leave more comments down below.
Since the Don, every time we see his profile picture, how about the Orioles on a 10-game win streak? All right, I'm going to talk about it. 10-game win streak over 500.
For sure.
I love that.
We love it. Charm City, the baseball team is coming back.
Yes.
It's coming back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for that. I might have to hit up an Orioles game soon. All right. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here.
While you're looking for comments, I just want to know who is going to the open practice. Because I know a couple people who are going from the Rain Gang as well. Kind of want to get a... And if you are, DM us, by the way. You know where to follow us.
DM us on Instagram at The Purple Rain Podcast, as we have about 114 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode 123 of The Purple Rain Podcast. Like the video. Like the video. Also subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel because there's a lot more where this came from. Trust me, there is. Void here says in his MVP year, he had a 6-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which was the best in the NFL. And last year, when he was injured, he led all quarterbacks in passing outside the numbers. Can he improve? Yes. But to say inconsistent is bogus.
There you go. I think that says a lot right there. I still think I think he was amazing in 2022. I mean, the 2020 season, like, we were just dealt with so much and still balling out. I mean, he was going through his drops badly middle of the season, then to turn it around, Lamar hitting him. Come on now.
So. Right. And another thing too, people say he's inconsistent. People say he's not top 10, and we talked about the whole top 10 list on the last episode, and just kind of circling back to that a little bit, it's very ridiculous to say that Lamar Jackson is not top 10, because I get if you want to say the current NFL quarterbacks top 10 list is not based off of lifetime achievement awards, what you did 2-3 years ago, whatever. But at the same time, Lamar Jackson was injured about halfway through last season. But before getting injured, he was leading his conference. His team, right? His team, which was the most injured team in the last 2 decades, was leading the conference at 8-3. That means they're above the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. That means they're above Justin Herbert and the Chargers. That means they're above Josh Allen, the Bills, all these teams before he goes down and gets hurt.
And he had more total yards than a lot of teams in the NFL.
Oh, my head
hurts,
fact, Alex. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's
all right.
It's ridiculous, man. And like, I don't even. You talk about he doesn't have as much postseason success as a lot of those other guys. Justin Herbert has not made the playoffs.
Oh boy, yeah. What's Russ done in the postseason recently? Honestly,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a what have you done for me recently, League? I want to know.
What have you done for me lately? Justin Herbert has not done anything at all. At all. I mean, like, he's got regular season accolades. Yes, 5,000 yards is very impressive. You know what I mean? Like, throwing 35 touchdowns is very impressive.
But for what?
You know?
If you're sitting at home in January, what's the point?
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest criticisms on Lamar Jackson. Oh, he hasn't done too much in the postseason. But you got guys in this top 10 who have done nothing at all in the postseason. I don't understand it.
Can you bring up Jonathan Washington's comment, please? Because he talking about Deshaun Watson's 1-3, and so is Dak Prescott 1-3. All right, this is gonna hurt me to say. Dak Prescott lost to a Rams team with Jared Goff and Todd Gurley at running back. All right, that team was good. Don't get me wrong. He should have won that game. All right, I honestly felt like the Cowboys were gonna win that game. I don't hear anything about that. Like, I don't hear anything about the 49ers game this past season. I don't.
No.
I don't. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't get it either. I mean, Dak Prescott's been in the league for, 7 years now? 1 playoff win. The same amount of playoff wins as Lamar. Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, A lot of these other guys, I mean, Derek Carr, if you want to throw him up there, a lot of these guys have the same amount of Super Bowl wins as Lamar Jackson, which is none.
Yeah.
No Super Bowl wins. So if you want to judge postseason success, I think we should be judging it on what guys have literally been there and done that before. That's why I have no problem with Mahomes up there. You know, I have no problem with Aaron Rodgers winning back-to-back MVPs. He's actually gotten the Super Bowl before. Granted, it was a while ago. He's been there. He's done that.
Yeah.
You know, I have no problem with him being up there. But I start having an issue when you start putting up adjustment. Hell, I don't have a problem with Josh Allen because I get it. I watched him play against the Chiefs in that divisional matchup.
Yep.
He did everything in his power to put his team in position to win. They just didn't. So I get why you want to put Josh Allen up there, but I draw the line at Justin Herbert. I just do.
And let me piggyback on you because you can say the same thing. Oh, well, Justin Herbert did everything he could to beat the Raiders. Cool. But just inform me again who they lost to a few weeks prior to that. Sutton, who did the Chargers lose to?
That's the Texans.
There you go. So
Like, come on.
Yeah, leave it at that. Leave it at that.
And don't even get me started on what Jonathan Washington led this comment with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is ranked top 10. He hasn't even played. He hasn't played. So what have you done for me lately? Didn't play at all.
The world's a lot different last time Deshaun Watson.
A lot different.
Snap of the football. A lot.
I could make a better argument for Justin Herbert being in this list over Deshaun Watson. I mean, I just could. Deshaun Watson has one playoff win as well, you know. But I haven't seen Deshaun Watson play the game of football, the sport of football, in the last 365 days. We were talking about this exact same situation with Deshaun Watson 1 year ago today on this very podcast, Alex. Goes to show how long we've been doing. I mean, it's been wow.
It's been a while. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Deshaun Watson is closer to Derek Carr than he is Lamar Jackson. I'm going to just say it. I like Derek Carr. I really do. Yeah. I think he's going to ball out this year. I really do. And on what he went through last year and how he made the playoffs, Deshaun Watson kind of went through the same thing. He put up 4 wins. Derek Carr lost his coach, lost his number 1 receiver. Made it to the playoffs.
Yeah. Just saying.
I mean, the Raiders were the most dysfunctional team last year, and I'm gonna give him give Carr respect because I'm a big Derek Carr. I'm not gonna lie, I'm rooting for him. So I kind of want to just give him his flowers as well because I feel like he's being disrespected this too. Now I'm done with my Raiders stuff, but back to the Ravens stuff. But yeah.
Oh man. Let's see. Rainmaker says, give Lamar Jackson, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams and see what happens.
Give him Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Please. Please. I'm begging you.
Yeah.
I am begging you because DK Metcalf is a receiver. His build, his prototype is something we have never seen in this offense. Well, we have maybe. Just about 10 years ago.
Man, I mean, the receiving core for a lot of these guys, I mean, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, even Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he has like one main guy, but Gabriel Davis is a hell of a player too.
And they went and signed Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, they did. You're right. They did.
Isaiah McKenzie.
All these teams have more, I would say, well-renowned receiving cores. And, of course, we believe in our guys. We do. We love us some James Prochet, some Rashad Bateman, some Devin Duvernay, some Tylan Wallace, all of our guys. We love our guys. But the fact of the matter is we haven't seen them do it just yet. Do we think they can? Yes, we do.
Yep.
We do. But we haven't seen them do it at the highest level consistently yet. The only person that we've seen on that offense play at a high level consistently is Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. Those 2 players, I would say.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, just like the Orioles are, the Ravens are getting a lot of criticism. Orioles got a lot of criticism this year coming into it too. I hope they both do the same thing. Hope the Ravens shut everybody up. I really do. Because before the season, people said the Orioles were going to win 40 games altogether. They're at 45. It's not even the All-Star break.
Proving them wrong.
That's how I feel with the Ravens receiving core. It's been nonstop disrespect. So, bunch of young guys, they got everything to play for. Let's see.
Right. And I think the kind of like the silver lining of this is, I mean, we kind of see this trend happens each and every year. It happens each and every year, Alex. Like, somebody comes out and says something, outlandish about our quarterback Lamar Jackson right before the season gets started. And, we get all riled up about it. But Lamar Jackson, he's wearing that chip on his shoulder, like loud and
They're not
proud.
chips.
He
Boulders.
They're boulders, They're boulders. He's gonna come into the season with those boulders on his shoulder, and he's gonna ball out. He's gonna ball out, and that's kind of like the silver lining to me. Because like, look, this year you got Bernard Pollard. Last year it was Bucky Brooks saying that they should let Lamar graduate after 3 years. It's a
Bucky
trend.
wanted us to draft Justin Fields. I didn't forget.
There's a trend.
And you know what else I
It's
didn't?
a trend.
You know what else I didn't forget, by the way? That we have 130 people watching the stream right now. Thank you very much. Can we get those likes up to 75, please? For one, Jonathan Ogden. That'll be much appreciated. Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
But yeah, man, it's crazy just the type of criticism that is placed on this guy. It's insane. It's insane. All right, getting into a couple more of you guys' comments down here. And listen, guys, this is pretty much the main topic for this episode of the show. So we're going to go ahead and open up to questions as well. We're going to go ahead and open up the questions for you guys. So
anything.
You guys can, anything. Ask us about anything.
Talk about
the current topic, whatever else you guys want to talk about, throw it in the chat room right now. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, throw your questions down below in the comment section. We're going to get to those as well. Yes. We do have another super chat donation, which will always be brought up first and foremost. Thank you so much, Brent Lauren. We appreciate you making it rain here on episode 123. 123
Indeed.
Of the Purple Rain podcast. Says, does it feel like the system is trying to cut our MVP's cheese?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we've talked about this before.
It's interesting. I love this comment. I love this.
Almost as much as I love that profile picture, by the way. Top 2, not 2.
I know. Top 2, not 2, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And I think this is it's in the description as well. Like, does this have anything to do with Lamar Jackson's contract talks? Because the last 2 seasons, typically quarterbacks get their deals done in the off season. Whether it be like earlier in the off season or like sort of towards training camp, that sort of thing. They get them done in those windows most times. So it's kind of weird that every year around this time, June, July, early August, we start hearing these narratives about Lamar Jackson pop back up when Lamar Jackson is playing no football at all to judge him, to criticize. He's not even doing anything outlandish for you to criticize him, besides getting in Twitter debates with guys who have been heckling him for years.
Yep.
He's not even doing anything outlandish. So why do they keep trying to kind of systematically bring this back up around this time of year when they know he's in talks with the Ravens to get paid?
It's just insane. I don't know why. I really do not know why that they consistently bring it up. And why we're consistently disrespected, because I'm going to just talk about something else that my guy Rush showed me today. Shout out to him. ESPN put out the top 10 tight ends in the NFL. Want to guess who number 1 was?
Who's that?
George Kittle. Number 2, Travis Kelce. Number 3, Darren Waller.
Wow.
Number 4, Mark Andrews. Number 5, Kyle Pitts.
There's no way.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. I don't got wings.
But listen, let's just talk about this really quick. How is it possible? Wait, where did you say Mark Andrews was?
4.
Number 4. How is it that you have 3 guys above Mark Andrews when he led the league in the league of tight ends? What, yards, touchdowns, and catches? What?
He put up better numbers than elite wide receivers.
Am I wrong about that though?
No, I mean I know he led. I think he led in yards 100%. I don't know about touchdowns, but I know he led in yards, which I think is pretty.
I think that's pretty damn good as well. To say, like, how could you say you don't even think his quarterback is top 10? Yet he put up those type of numbers. How is he not higher?
The disrespect. It's the disrespect.
According to the league, Mark Andrews has an average quarterback. Because if Lamar Jackson is not top 10, that means he's closer to 15 than he is the top 3 to 1.
And I think the top 3
tight
ends are elite. That means they're saying he's a great tight end, but not elite. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and my guy Don brings it up here. Andrews can block too.
I just wanted to bring that. I forgot. I just remembered that. So because Brent's profile picture reminded me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King95 says, to be fair, Mark just broke out last season. Those guys have been doing it for years. But no, I can't agree with that, King, because, I mean, we've been talking about how this is not like a lifetime achievement award. It's about what have you done for me lately. And lately, Mark Andrews has been at the top of the game. He has. And that's what they judge the top 10 quarterbacks list off of. So why aren't we judging this list
I
off
think
of?
we can agree. He was number 3 coming into to last season. I think I 100% put Kittle and Kelsey above him. I think it's those 3 are the standard. I don't think anybody else is. It's just those 3 interchangeable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't put Darren Waller up there with him. I can't.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a tight end. Don't get me wrong. I just can't put him up there.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's insane, man. Let's see. Just Allo says, anytime you hear somebody say that Lamar Jackson needs to improve from the pocket, you know they don't actually look at Lamar Jackson play, and they're just lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why narratives are so dangerous, because you don't have to watch the games to follow narratives.
Hey, man, because ESPN's out here showing just Lamar running and saying he doesn't pass the ball. They pick and choose what highlights are being shown.
Yeah.
You can sit for a soccer player, you can show them just scoring penalties. That means, but they could have scored multiple goals from outside the box, but they're just gonna say, "Oh, they're a penalty merchant." Happens in all sports, and I see it all the time. It's unfortunate. It really is. I hate it.
Right, because the issue is, like, in reality, you can't sit and watch all. In the 1 o'clock window, there's at least like anywhere between 6 to 8 games going at the same time, right? You can't sit there and watch every single game and dissect every single game every week at the same time. You just can't do that. It's not possible. So what a lot of people do is they rely on the opinions of other people who watch the game. And these people that they're relying on are normally like bigwig media heads, sports media heads. But the problem with that is that those guys don't even watch the full games. They watch highlights, they read box scores, stats, things like that, and that's how they form their opinions. They don't actually sit there and watch the games for themselves. If you really want to get a good sense of a football game, sit there and watch it with the sound off. Put the TV on mute. Don't listen to the commentators. Just watch the plays back to back. Pay attention to the score. Pay attention to the play clock. Pay attention to all that stuff. You'll get a much better sense of how the game went, the story of the game, without any outside input. But we do have another super chat donation coming from Yolanda here. Pulling up
from deep.
From 3. Oh my goodness. Appreciate Yolanda making it rain here on episode 123 of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate you.
We do.
Yolanda, we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Says, which team that we face this season concerns you the most and why?
This is a great question. I faced a lot of teams this year. Got the Bills, Bengals. Oh. My Siri came up. Don't know why. Didn't say anything. But a lot of teams do. And yeah, I know. The Bills, the Bengals, new look Dolphins, the Steelers, new look Steelers. The Browns, of course. Don't know what Browns we're going to see. We play some pretty tough teams. But I think the team we face that concerns me the most, it's got to be the team that just was in the Super Bowl. The Bengals. Best team in the AFC. Playing them twice. Had our number last year. Got to beat them. Got to beat them.
Man.
I didn't want to say them, but
You're right.
They were just in the Super Bowl.
My thing is, though, and I disagree with you here, because I think that
good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the team that concerns me the most this coming up season, and it's one of the teams you mentioned. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the Steelers.
That was my second one. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's mainly because the only teams that are really going to concern me are the teams you got to play twice, right? Because that's going to affect your record. That's going to affect your odds of making the playoffs much more than a one-off NFC team that you're going to play once, for the next 3 years, So with the Steelers, they've been dangerous because they've beaten us the past 2 years. We've been swept the past 2 years. Am I correct about that?
No, you're correct.
Yeah, we got swept by them the past 2 seasons, so we can ill afford for the Steelers to sweep us again this season, especially considering how good the Bengals are. Because we're going to need to get at least one off the Bengals. We're going to have to at least split with them. We're going to have to at least split with the Browns, if not sweep them.
Yep.
And we're going to have to, break that 2-year curse of us not beating the Steelers. We're going to have to break that this year. If we want a chance to make the playoffs, got to beat those boys. So that's why they concern me.
And that was with an aging Ben. And we went 1-5 in the division last year. teams that go 1-5 in your division don't usually make the playoffs.
Exactly.
That can't be happening. 4-2,
No.
I'm cool with it. 3-3, 4-2 and better is where I would like to be in the division. But you can't go 1-5 and expect to make the playoffs in
Right.
your division, man.
Don't work like that.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah. Let's see. Thank you so much for your super chat donation, Yolanda. We appreciate you so much. All your support.
Yes,
Let's see.
thank you.
Rainmaker here says, I'm glad channels like yours and Engravens try to be objective and don't rely on the media for information. Unlike us who watch the games, I get mad at Lamar for hanging in the pocket too long.
So I'm like, run. Thank you. And I'm going to leave a shout out to the people that break down film because that's a skill in itself. And that's where I learn a lot, I think.
For sure.
Because
Same.
that's a whole different game than what you watch on TV. So shout out to those guys as well. But thank you for that comment. It actually means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll take a couple more questions, comments here for this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like the video if you are enjoying tonight's content or whenever you're listening to this. Also, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, don't forget to leave your comments down below in the chat. We appreciate that. Let's see. Our guy Steve is in the house. Says, what's up, guys? A little late on the stream. My notification didn't work. Oh, man. Says, love you guys. Love the content. Glad to see you tomorrow. Put Bernard Pollard in, I guess you were saying.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate you. All right. Take a couple more here. Let's see. Young Cherokee Peasy says, all 22 Ravens is good. He's from Maryland also. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
All 22
good breakdown.
Ravens. He has a
good breakdown.
Definitely good breakdown. If you haven't checked out his channel, definitely check out his channel. Some good all 22 Ravens footage as well. Let's see. Young Cherokee also says Steelers have no QB. We don't have to worry about them no more. They don't have Big Ben no more, fool. Hey, man, listen. You got to pump the brakes on that because the Steelers have always been known to give us fits, no matter what. No matter who's
we did to them, too. We beat them with Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this rivalry is not about who's at quarterback. It's really not. You know?
I mean, Trace McSorley.
Yeah, it's about who's the better team that Sunday. You know, that's what it's about when it comes to Ravens versus Steelers. Every single time. So we just can't look past those guys. We can't look over those guys. They're known for defense. They're built on defense. TJ Watt still exists. You know,
I still think he's the best edge rusher in the league.
Yeah. So we can't overlook them. We just can't. All right.
I think that's the best thing about sports, though, is like if you explain that, let's say the Ravens are 15-1 and the Steelers are 0-16.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh well, the Ravens are gonna a non-sports watch like, oh they're gonna mop them. It's like, are you sure? Because no matter what their the records go out the window when rivalries are played in any sport. I think they're gonna play you as hard as they can. And they want to ruin your season.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and wrap it with this one. Void says, why does it seem as though Lamar's goalpost is always moved? If Goku were to kick a field goal for Lamar, he would miss because of how much the goalpost is moved back. Why are analysts so disingenuous? Void, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, why are analysts so, why do they always move the goalpost for Lamar? I think simply because it's good talking point. It's good media, and you get it's clicks. You get engagement. It's just as simple as that for me.
I think along with that, it's the slow season as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to really talk about. And like we've talked about before, the negativity outweighs the positivity.
Right. Exactly.
That's about it.
And it shouldn't be like that. It's kind of sad when, you see guys like Lamar Jackson having to, kind of clap back and break the silence, that sort of thing, because it's just been building up for so long. You never seen somebody go at Lamar Jackson like one time and then Lamar Jackson just claps back at them like he did with Bernard Pollard. Right? Like this was built up, over time.
Right.
Right. And that's why the thumbnail on the video says Lamar Jackson finally, keyword finally, gets back at Bernard Pollard. So, yeah.
I have one more thing.
Sure.
We are at 87 likes. 13 more likes. We're at 100. I would love that, please. That's all I'm asking for. About it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
The
you.
video, guys. Like the video.
Yeah.
We're almost at 100 likes right now, like my guy Alex said. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys on the likes. You guys have been going crazy with the likes
Even during like the
recently.
slowest part of the
Yeah,
offseason.
I
The
know. It's
absolute
beautiful.
slowest.
I know. It's beautiful. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys so much. The entire Rain Gang in here. Again, if you want to get added to the Rain Gang group chat, make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, just like you see down there below.
Yes.
If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you can find me at Sutton Def, just like you see right there. You can follow this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAS10, on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. Most importantly, on YouTube, you can subscribe to his channel at SimplyAS10. Just SimplyAS10. Just Google him. Honestly,
Yeah.
just do that.
Honestly, you or Google the Purple Rain podcast. Comes up.
Google both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google Sutton
Do
Def.
that.
Comes up.
Exactly. With that being
Google's
said,
lovely.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw it off to you, Alex. You can go ahead and take us out for the night.
Thank you to everybody that's come out to the 123rd episode of the Purple Rain podcast.
Yes.
We love you immensely. We cannot thank you all for the support. I hope you guys have a great weekend because I know I'm about to have a hell of a Saturday.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Can't wait. I'm sorry. This game has been waiting for months.
Yeah.
And as always, stay positive, test negative. One more thing.
And never